right, Coach, we're here to talk about Auburndale football here in 2019. We're very excited for the season coming up here next week already. You've got a game against Pittsville. It's one of our Zaleski Sports games of the week, so we're very excited for the season to start. Before we get into this coming season, just want to talk a little bit about last year and things that you as a coach learned last year and some of the successes you had. You had a playoff win against Manawa, and then your season ended up at Abbotsford. Just talk about the 2018 season, just some of the good memories from last year.
Well, last year we started a little bit slow. There's a few games that you don't get second chances. That was one of our things we talked about, and there was a couple I think we should have. We would like to have played again, and it doesn't happen. One of them happened to be Manawa in the first round of playoffs, and realized that second chance to get a playoff win is always exciting. We finished a lot stronger than we started. Like to be able to just get it off to a better start this year and kind of get some momentum going early rather than kind of digging out of a hole, which it kind of felt like last year. But we did and got a playoff win, and right now our goal is to host one. And it's something that we talked about at the end of last season, the next step to take, back-to-back playoffs and first-round wins. But we'd really like to be able to set that in a mindset to have a hosted playoff game. And didn't bring it up last year, didn't know I'd have to, but this year we're talking about that.
Yeah, good goals to have. We'll get into the goals for 2019 here in just a little bit. So we're a week and 2 days into practice. We've got a few practices left, and all of a sudden it'll be game day. It seems like the summer camps go pretty fast in that way. I was here yesterday, talked to some of the guys outside. Everybody seemed to be in a good mood. Tell us about how practice has been here these first few days.
We've been working on our tempo and pace of practice, and that's something that you always try to do. And this year we're actually a bit of a smaller, I guess, group, and we can't get much larger than we were last year. We had some big kids. This year we simply don't have that many, and we're going to try to get that to our advantage. We want to play faster. We want to be quicker. And we're just really a better tempo practice this year, and they're showing it right away for them to pick it up and what we're trying to do and run with it. It's just been very exciting. Of course, we do have our lulls here and there, and we get on them and remind them of what we're trying to accomplish. But so far, the practices have been sharp, and we like where we're at.
Coach, tell us, you said you haven't named any captains yet. But who are some members of this year's team that you're going to look to, whether it's in practice, during the game, or some of those pivotal moments in the game where these kids come back on the sideline and they're the ones that are kind of doing that extra coaching on the sideline? Who are a couple of those kids you're looking at this year to step up in a leadership role?
Well, we're going to find that out. I know a lot of things change once the game starts, and that's one thing that I hope that our competitiveness, the ability to take what we're learning in the practice field on the game. And I found that out that's not always the case. But one person that jumps in mind that put in an unbelievable weight room this off season. He's just a football player, is Kyle Peterson. I'm really hoping that translates. We have Cooper Weinferter, who's a three-sport athlete and a returning quarterback, and he's been a 2-year starter in defensive backfield. He's a person that picks up on things real quick and does a nice job with that. Corey Trowbridge is really stepping up in areas that we needed him to. He's been moved to the line right now. It's something that when he slid down, we needed some linemen. He's done that, and he's leading there. Defensive side of the ball as a linebacker, he got a lot of experience last year, and he's really stepping up in a leadership role and putting people where they need to be and helping with that, and in a positive way. There hasn't been any barking and yelling. They're doing a lot of encouraging, which we need, and they're leading in a positive way.
Oftentimes, Coach, during the football season, early in the season, the defense will kind of be more rounded or well-rounded than the offense. The offense, depending on your system, can be a little more complicated, whereas defense, see ball, hit ball, get there a little bit quicker. How do you see this year's group unfolding in that way?
I'm hoping that defensively we can take some steps forward. There's times when we're outstanding and times when it just didn't seem to be clicking with them as far as that physicality. And that's something that we're stressing here, is to be more physical and to be a little bit tougher when it comes to mentally, physically tougher. It really is defensively to know your assignments and playing fast and playing physical. And again, We'll see how it goes. Right now we're in a good shape, but when the games start, scrimmages this week, we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that that defense will pick up and show a lot of the better things last year. I think we had maybe 3 shutouts. One game we had just gave up 6, and then after that we have games where we're just not doing the assignments that we should be, not taking on. This year we have to take on. Again, we're not as large, so we have to take on. Offensively, our pace and what we're doing is pretty good. I think our guys are some less experience in the line. They've been picking things up, so it's hard to say which one's ahead, but I agree with you. Defensively normally is, and I hope that we can take the next step there.
I mentioned week 1, Zaleski Sports Game of the Week is right here. Auburndale, Pittsville, another one of those teams that was on the rise last year, or seemed to improve during the season. They also had a playoff win last year as well. What do you know about the Pittsville Panthers? What do you expect coming up next week?
I expect them to play hard. Coach Dennison does a wonderful job. I really like the way that they play, and they just always have them focused and playing fast and with a lot of determination. I tell our guys that all the time. Last year, the last 2 years, we talked about that. We have to meet their energy. We have to be able to be aggressive and play fast to be able to play with them and hopefully be able to defeat them. But they do such a nice job there, and they take those kids and they get them ready, and they're just one of those teams that kind of comparing ourselves to get to with that type of energy. It really is. They do a very nice job there.
Yeah, so definitely a good way to start the year and kind of measure yourself a little bit right
Absolutely.
away.
It is a close game, of course, and it's nice and handy for both of us and the fan bases, and it just makes a lot of sense to play that game. And it's just a challenge. And last year, I thought that we had a situation where we kind of gave one away, and I think that if we would have beat them, they probably would have thought the same thing. They made some mistakes too early on. We made ours late, and they were just more trained than us. I think they had more gas in the tank at the end, and that's the type of play we want to have from start to finish.
As you think about the first week or two, let's just think of it in that way, because as the season goes, your team hardly ever looks at the end like it did at the beginning. So just focusing on those first couple weeks, people coming out to watch your games, win, lose, or draw, what will they see on the field that says, things are going the way that Coach Anderson has got these guys going, and things are going the right way? Aside from looking at the scoreboard, what are some of those things on the field that fans can come and look at to know that things are going in a certain direction?
Well, again, it goes back to toughness. Hopefully that they're going to be able to see a tough football team. We're going to see a lot of kids that are hustling, well prepared. And that's something we talk about. When there's a time to line up or it's your job, go find work. And I just hope that they see a hardworking team, a focused team, and hopefully playing with some speed. And if we can get them comfortable in their assignments, they're going to be able to have their athleticism, their speed come out. And that's what we're getting. But the first 4 games, I hope that we are showing some toughness and just taking on some physicality. That is a concern of mine for the last couple of years. We aren't always taking people on like we should, and that's something that we're focusing on. And they're going to come out and see us just really get after it.
All right, and then I'll let you off the hook on this one as you look then past those other games and maybe things you've already discussed with the team. What are some of the goals this year as far as achievements and things like that? I mean, a conference championship, or what are just some of those goals you talk about with the guys, or some things maybe you think this team can really accomplish this year?
Well, our goals are going to be pretty simple at this point. We've talked about 2, and it's win the opener and host a playoff game. I do think that you have to be realistic about it, and we're going to set some realistic goals and just see what we can do. But those are 2 things that are definitely attainable if we focus, play real hard. Do we have to? I mean, it's going to be a possibility. I know, Pittsville's going to have another opinion on that, and as well they should. But right now, 1 game at a time, and the first one is the one that we have to focus on winning, and then it is host a playoff game. So if we do those 2 things, I think we're going to have a real nice year.
All right, Coach, we're very much looking forward to the season. best of luck this year, and thanks for talking to us.
All right, thank you very much.